there, friends. Welcome to Bronze Medal Moms. We aren't going for gold. We're going for bronze on the daily. I'm Amy.
And I'm Amanda, and we are here to remind you that you don't have to be perfect to show up, survive, and even thrive in motherhood.
Welcome back to Bronze Medal Moms. I'm Amy, and I'm here with Amanda. And today we are going to talk about every parent's kind of unthinkable worry, lice.
Yep, we're going there today. Lice. Ugh, it's itchy, it's emotional, it's humbling, and honestly, it deserves its own episode.
Because if you have ever been caught off guard by these tiny bugs living in your kid's hair, you are not alone.
And fair warning, your head may start itching during this podcast. Mine is already starting to itch. Please remember, you cannot catch lice from a podcast. I mean, again, I'm already scratching my head. So maybe let's repeat that to ourselves a couple times. I cannot catch lice from a podcast. Just because I'm listening to this podcast does not mean I have lice.
I love it. Okay. So I want to kick this off with my story of lice because it is like I win the award for worst lice story. It's not even a bronze medal moment. Like, I'm not even on the podium. I'm not near the podium. I may not even be in the stadium.
It's not participating at all. You're
not participating. I asked my daughter permission if I could share this lice story because it's really her story. And she said I could because I want other parents to release the shame and like not feel bad and guilty, right?
Sure.
Right. So my lice story was not a school email. It was actually like hindsight is 2020. It was actually weeks, a month of my daughter scratching her head and seeing bugs before we actually realized what was happening. So let me take you back really quickly. We're in the car one day to school. At that point, she's sitting in the back. Now she's moved to the front seat. But she was like, Mom, there's a bug. And she hates bugs. So I don't care if there's a fly, a mosquito, a gnat, she's going to scream. And so I think there's a gnat in the car because what else is in the back of a Bronze Medal Mom's car? Like half-eaten bags of goldfish. She's got like candy wrappers and old melted chocolate shoved in her door. So I think fruit flies, right? So I take it as a good parenting moment to be like, well, if you cleaned up your crap, maybe there wouldn't be bugs back there. So I don't think anything of it. Certainly am not thinking lice. Fast forward about a week and a half, 2 weeks later, this is in October, and there's a weekend in there. I think it's Indigenous Peoples Day. We get days off of school. We always take a trip where we meet our friends who live in Atlanta, and this time we rented an RV. You know, I love the RV life. We did it for a while, so we rented an RV. We're out in Moab, Utah, and we're going to go hang out at Arches and Canyonlands National Parks. Well, it's unseasonably hot in Moab this October. We're all sweaty. We've been hiking all day. We get back to the RV, which is a rented RV, and my daughter... Yeah, my daughter, who has super long, thick hair, and at this point in time, never wore it back in a ponytail. She's like, oh man, my neck is like itching. Everything is so itchy. So I lift up her hair, and she has got this rash on the back of her neck. And I'm like, oh, well, yeah, you've got heat rash. Like, you should wear your hair up in a ponytail. It's hot out. You're sweaty. Put your hair up. I have my friend.
Your brain is not allowing you to think that it's lice.
No, it's not even
all options.
And in my naivety, I thought we also had outgrown the lice phase, right? Like, you don't have to worry about lice as an 11-year-old in 5th grade. So I asked my friend, another bronze medal mom who was there with me. She's like, yeah, it's a heat rash. I asked my husband. They're like, yeah, heat rash. So we get her hair up and, we like put some stuff for the rash and it's fine. So then, at the end of the weekend, we go home back to Texas. It's literally a week, possibly even 8 or 9 days later. It is a Friday night. We're at home. My daughter's in her room brushing her hair. My husband and I are in the kitchen, and she runs out. She's freaking out because there's a bug on her hairbrush. And we look at it, and my husband were like, no, I can't see a bug. There's no bugs. Like, you're losing it. You stop freaking out over bugs. There's no bugs. She's like, there is a bug right there. Oh, gosh. I'm like, fine. She's like, and my head is still itchy from the RV trip.
She's like, I'm trying to tell you I have lice.
So, yes, sure enough, we sit her down. I start combing through her hair, and I see lice.
Oh.
And her hair is the exact same color as lice. So in fairness.
Yeah, same with my daughter.
Right. And so and it's 8:00 on a Friday night. I'm like, oh boy, what do we do? My husband runs out to Walgreens to get all the supplies because when she was little, I had all the lice stuff. I had the lice shampoo. I had that little metal lice comb. I had everything. Well, in my stupidity, I got rid of all that. So we had nothing at home. I start to panic. I start combing through her hair while he's out getting supplies, and I realize I don't know what I'm doing. Even if I think I could get them all out, I don't trust myself that I would have gotten them all. So I would just been anxious the whole time.
Right.
So getting supplies, I get on Google, and I don't know if you know this, but there are saints that actually do this for a living. They will come to your house, and for about the exact same price, by the time you buy all the supplies yourself, they will come to your house and get rid of them guaranteed for you. So this literal angel, I found a local company who also used all natural products. And for like $75 more than what my husband was going to buy at Walgreens, this angel came to our house on a Friday night at 9 p.m. And she starts going through my daughter's hair. And I don't know if you've ever done the treatment like that, but every time they comb it, they tap the comb on a bowl of water to get the lice. There were so many lice. Like, it's embarrassing. Oh, like, worst mom moment ever. And I say to her, oh my gosh, I bet she got the lice during the RV trip. It was a rented RV. I bet there was already lice in the RV. And she said, how long ago was that? And I said, oh, about 8 or 9 days. And she goes, oh no, these lice have grandbabies.
Right. That's lice.
Yeah. No, she's had lice for like a month. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And so I think back to that very first day a month ago in the car where she said she saw a bug, and I blamed it on the door candy.
Oh my gosh.
And of course, my daughter the whole time was like, I told you. I'm like, I know, girlfriend, I'm sorry. Like, total mom parent fail.
So I looked this up because I agree. I thought we were out of this lice phase. Did you know, and this is going to make everyone's skin crawl and head itch, an estimated 6 to 12 million infestations occur each year in the U.S. between 3 and 11 years old.
Oh, man, we were right there.
I know, we're right at the end.
Yes. Well, and I was
made it.
Yeah, I was freaking out thinking I was going to have to like rip up the carpet in my house and destroy all the Squishmallows. And I had extensions at the time, hair extensions, and she went through my hair, and I had like 1 bug and 3 eggs or something. And I was like, oh my goodness. And my husband has a full beard. Luckily, he didn't have any, but
did you know that even, and this is actually just a few years ago, people were told to boil their sheets to kill the lice, which I feel like if anyone told me to boil my sheets, that is secret code for run to Target, buy some new sheets.
Oh, yeah. I am not boiling sheets. No way. Definitely go in the trash, buy new sheets.
No way that's happening. I don't even know how you would do that.
No.
All right. I have to tell my story because this is, and we have to tell our stories because we have to give you like, again, the shame has to go away. This has to be relatable, and you realize that this happens to everyone. So, all right. So my sister's kiddos have had lice before, and we managed to steer clear. Like, we even had one time that my daughter Rue and her daughter Avery were like, I knew she had lice, and they were like playing dress up and had hats together. And I was like, well, sure enough, now we have lice. Nope, we steered clear. I don't know, maybe her kids are just more active than mine. Somehow we stayed clear of the lice. Well, true that her kids are more active than mine. But okay, mine was like a month-long process as well. There was a handful of girls in my daughter's 5th grade class that were all, I mean, they could not have been more. Like, they were doing each other's hair, sharing brushes, sharing bows. And at school, they all found lice the same day. So it was like, oh my gosh, all these girls got together. Totally makes sense. And I remember, like I said, I work at the front desk. So as all this is going down, as each girl is like, we found lice, I'm like slowly zipping up my hazmat suit. So they check my daughter because these are a lot of her friends. All clear. Whew. My niece and nephew can get her classmates, can't get lice. I feel like we are immune to lice.
Yeah. You're like, this is great.
I know. Spoiler alert, we're not. So my daughter kept saying her head itched, and we would check it because these other girls had lice and nothing. So, and again, like she's just like your daughter, that they have that light brown color hair, and it's like the worst color hair because it's so hard to see the lice. Well, about 3 weeks after the 5th grade girls lice 2025 club, I took her back to the school nurse, and I guess like, all the eggs had finally hatched. So, and my daughter and I are super close. Like she is a stage 5 clinger, and I'm totally here for it. We snuggle all the time while watching our Gilmore Girls. So I knew if she had it, I 100% had it too. The nurse checked her, checked me. Yep, lice.
Oh.
Ugh. So we went home and went the route of, we didn't call someone. We went like all natural because there are those places, but it was like $400 to see both of us. And I was like, okay, we're going to try some other options first. We went over and covered our heads in olive oil and began like the great combing.
I didn't know olive oil was a thing, but can I just say there's like no greater test of love than like picking through your own child's scalp for what, 2 hours straight looking.
Yes.
But maybe I don't have that same love because after a few swipes of the comb, I was like, I called for help. I was like, I can't do this.
Well, and like pretended to be calm while mentally canceling every plan for the next 2 weeks. And like, we went the home route and we did the olive oil, and then we did this paste that our doctor recommended that worked, but of course stripped all the color out of my hair. So hello, Grace, I've missed you. And then we did the daily combing after everything. I'm not gonna lie, I have not seen any lice, but because I have seen it at one point in my life, I'm not convinced we're in the clear. I'm just too afraid. Every time I think about it, my head itches.
I was going to ask if your head itches.
All the time.
Yeah, but you're right. I do remember like when I finally saw all the bugs, trying to be totally calm about it and be like, yeah, okay, there's a bug. I think you have lice, like not freaking out. But then I realized because it's been a month that she's had it, I'm like, you've been to rehearsal every night. There's a couch at rehearsal. You've been with all the kids. You were with our friends in an RV. You've been at school. You've been at birthday parties. And I'm thinking of like all of the people I have to call and tell.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And we'll get to that in a minute. But let's clear some things up about some common lice misconceptions because I was completely misinformed about some things. Like that woman taught me so much about lice. That's probably why I didn't trust myself to do it because I was clueless. I had no idea. And the first big thing I didn't know is that lice do not jump. Like they don't jump from person to person or couch.
Right.
Yeah, they actually crawl. They're like these clingy little scalp nightmares.
Little evil, clingy, little attack in the night evildoers.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay. So if my kiddo is not like sharing hairbrushes and sharing hats and like playing with each other's hair, okay, maybe that's less people impacted. I'm learning. But the second thing too, parents, is that lice does not mean your kid is dirty or gross or that you have failed as a parent. In fact, one thing I learned is that lice literally love clean hair. So, that's fun.
Yeah, right. So your kids get lice. It's actually because they're clean and have a lot of friends. It's definitely not something to be embarrassed about. You can be grossed out by it, yes, but not embarrassed.
Yes, yes. And literally, I do remember searching from my phone that night, like natural lice remedies, because, like I was researching a dissertation, because like I said, thought I was past the lice age. I mean, when we were in like daycare and elementary school, probably all the way up to third grade, I still had the lice shampoo. I still had that metal comb. I had all the supplies tucked in my linen closet just in case. And then I don't know why, but I got rid of all that stuff. And that's probably what jinxed us.
Yeah, tea tree oil, mayo, vinegar, coconut oil. Someone told me to steam clean our hairbrushes in the dishwasher, so I totally did that too.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. I think we did that too. But I, again, called for that backup. But she told me lots of these things because I was ready to burn the house down at Friday night at 9 p.m. Let's play a quick round of lice lies. Things we've heard, read, or really wanted to believe while we were spiraling about the lice.
Yes, let's do it.
Okay.
All right. Lice, like we said, lice can jump or fly. This is false. Nope. They crawl. They're clingy. The only way they move is direct head-to-head contact or shared personal items. These are not little ninja bugs. They just crawl. Really, they're lazy, stupid bugs. They just crawl from one thing to another.
That's good. I think when I had lice, I kept thinking they're like fleas, right? Fleas just jump everywhere. I'm like,
Fleas
no.
jump, right?
Right. So unless your child was rubbing heads with another kid at recess, which let's be honest, they probably were.
Right.
That's how it spreads. Okay. Myth number 2. We kind of covered this, but let's just go down the list. Only dirty people get lice.
Covering again. It's worth covering again.
It's worth covering. Yeah. Only dirty people get lice. That is so false. So false. Lice do not care about hygiene. In fact, like we said, they actually prefer clean hair. So all you like bronze medal parents out there who have to like struggle to get your kiddo to wash their hair, you may want to use this in your toolbox of getting them to shampoo their hair more often. Or actually not. It would be the opposite. You're actually winning. They prefer clean hair though, because you said they're lazy bugs. Clean hair is easier for them to grab onto, and they hate oils. They can't like grab onto the hair if their hair's oily.
Exactly. So you want, so those nightly baths and sulfate-free shampoo routine, it's like 5-star hotel for those critters. They want to grab onto something. Yeah. Okay. Myth number 3. You have to throw everything away they've ever touched. I can't imagine. Truth. No, this is not true. Lice can't live more than 24 to 48 hours off of a human host. They have to be on a human. So you wash the bedding in hot water, you bag up the stuffed animals for a couple days, vacuum the couch, and that's enough. That's all you have to do.
I was so happy to find this out because I was ready to torch my entire house. However, if you want to use this as a reason to torch all those squishmallows that are taking over your room or your kiddo's room, no judgment, 0 judgment.
Oh, let me tell you about that. So my daughter, queen size bed, she actually bagged up her myriad of squishmallows that covered this queen size bed. It was 5 trash bags worth of squishmallows. When she unpacked them, like, first of all, then we got everything clean, and she's like, Mom, I kind of like nothing on my bed. And I was like, yeah, do you want to just get rid of these 5 bags of Squishmallows? And she's like, well, I'll see which ones. Like, she's got those hammocks in her room that you can put all the stuffed animals in. And she's like, no, I'll fit them all in there. These hammocks are stuffed with stuffed animals anyway. Somehow she managed, and she comes in all proudly and she's like, well, I got rid of some. It was one squishmallow she got rid of, and I still celebrated that. I was like, you know what, we're moving in the right direction. That's one less thing in my house, one less squishmallow.
Yeah. I love it. I'll take it. All right. The next myth is that you'll see the lice crawling all over the place when you're looking at the scalp or the hair. And that's actually not true, because these guys are sneaky And by the time you actually notice the itching, they've probably already been around for a while, and the like bugs are even harder to spot, and they know how to hide when you start combing through the hair.
Right. They're like the worst kind of house guests, like quiet, clingy, and hard to evict.
Yeah.
All right. Here's another one that I thought was really interesting and disturbing all at the same time. Here's a myth. The school will call you if your kid has lice. Not always true. Many schools don't do head checks anymore, and they rely on the parents to report the cases. I will say, I live in Austin, Texas. Austin ISD actually allows kids to stay in school with live lice in their hair. Now, whether that Austin ISD schools abide by that rule, that's up to them. But the rule for the district is a child can be at school with live lice in their hair. At our school, we send the kids home if they have live lice in their hair, and then they can come back once it's treated. So normally, like, they're back within 24 hours. Like, my daughter Rue and I, we went home for the day, oiled up our heads, and we were back good to go. But yeah, it's not the school's responsibility to call. So this might come out of nowhere.
Well, that actually doesn't surprise me. And ask me how I know that schools don't contact you.
Lay it on me. How do you know?
Well, one, I don't even know what our school rule is, but when my daughter Adelaide had lice, and I'm going through thinking, okay, I got to tell the production team of her show because of rehearsals, and I got to tell the school, I email the school and I let them know Adelaide has lice. She's had it for a month. You need to let the parents in her classroom know, especially her classroom is very, like, they have a couch in there. They have a reading corner. They have a bean bag, right? So it's not just like hard plastic.
Being the responsible parent. Good
right.
job.
Being the responsible parent. They're like, oh, no, that's not something we do. I'm like, what? Why would you not? I was like, I don't care. You're not going to embarrass us. Adelaide said you can tell. She's like not ashamed of it. So they're like, no, we just, it's probably fine. They didn't send the email. So instead, I start texting the parents that I know in her class, like, hey, heads up, Adelaide had lice. And then another mom texts back and says, oh, yeah, my daughter had it too a couple weeks ago. And I thought that would have been good to know.
Karen, thanks.
Yeah, thanks. And like, why doesn't the school let us know? That would have been great.
So this is honestly, like, this whole topic, it's not the most glamorous topic, but is peak bronze medal mom territory. It's not glamorous, it's not Instagrammable, but it's the realest kind of parenting.
Yes, because you're doing everything. You're cleaning, you're combing, you're Googling, and you still feel like you have somehow failed.
Don't even get me started on the shame spiral. We need to stop that. Parents, because I do want to, parents should not feel embarrassed when lice shows up. But maybe when you let it procreate for a month, maybe a little embarrassed, Amy.
yeah, that like the kiddo shouldn't feel embarrassed, but I definitely felt embarrassed letting it go on for a month when she was trying to tell me her head itched. But there should be maybe a medal for that and some wine. Ooh, maybe a spa day.
Ooh, a spa day. That would be the thing, like a whole spa weekend to get rid of your lice. Ooh, there's a business idea for you. So it's hard when you're trying to hold it together for your kid while also questioning if you should shave everyone's head in the house. I will say, I've got the older girl and the two boys, and part of me didn't even want to check the boys. I was just going to shave their heads. I was like, who cares? Really, who cares?
But eventually, the storm passes, the lice go away, the comb gets put away. You kind of start sleeping again without itching, kind of.
You'll have the phantom itches for a week. I'm having them right now. I swear if I still have lice, I'm going to scream. But you will laugh about it one day. Probably not right away, but eventually you'll laugh about your lice stories.
Yes. And until then, give yourself some grace. Maybe don't throw away the lice shampoo just yet like I did, and permission to never look at a stuffed animal the same way again.
Exactly.
So basically, here's what we want all of our bronze medal moms out there to know. Lice does not define your parenthood. It doesn't make you dirty or careless. It just makes you a parent who's in the trenches.
And if someone makes you feel ashamed about it, just remember, bronze is still a medal. Then you know what? Abruptly slap them in the face, because I promise there's another bronze medal mom near you who heard that crap and will justify your actions.
Oh, that's it for another episode. Follow us on Bronze Medal Moms for more laughs, support, and all the things we are figuring out together. We'd love for you to leave us a 5-star review if you've ever done laundry in tears or whispered, "We're fine," while boiling all of your brushes and combs.
We're with you, itchy heads and all. Thanks so much for coming again. Bye, bronze medal moms.
Thanks for listening to our moms on Bronze Medal Moms. Don't forget to subscribe, share with your friends, and leave us a review. We'd love to hear from you. See you soon.